Hi, everyone. It's me, Krylios, Team Rayceen Productions MC and producer. And it is my pleasure to introduce my co-host today. Of course, the legendary goddess of DC, the one and only Rayceen Pendarvis.
Hello, everybody. Greetings and
Yes.
salutations.
So great to be here on this wonderful, what day is today? Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday
Wednesday is
afternoon.
hump day. Say hump day.
Yes, hump day. Girl, all these days run into each other now. Sometimes I forget what day it is, honey. But today we have some wonderful guests with us. We have some great guests with us. We have Diana from the DC Public Library, as well as Amy from Story District. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to both of you here on our Team Racing YouTube Live. So great to have you guys. So great to have you guys. And it's always a pleasure for us, to be able to do anything at all with Story District, of course. So great to see you again, Amy. And thanks so much for joining us, Diana. Great to have you all here. Hey, let us talk about the newest project that you guys are collaborating on. Tell us about it.
Okay, yes, thank you. I'm Diana Veiga, Civic Engagement Coordinator with DC Public Library, and we have been working with Story District on a storytelling show called I Too Sing America, an evening of storytelling celebrating democracy, and it will be on next Thursday, October 29th at 7 p.m., broadcast live on DCPL's Facebook and YouTube pages.
Oh, that sounds very, very important and very exciting, especially for this time. Amy, tell me a little bit about that, how important this is for the time that we're in right now as we're heading up to the election.
Yeah, I think, all elections matter, but I think that this one has particular significance. There already we are seeing huge voter turnout in early voting, so people are excited. And I think the show is also a reminder that we shouldn't take the right to vote for granted. My mother was the inspiration, is the inspiration for the show. She's from Selma, Alabama, and was present on Bloody Sunday when John Lewis, was beaten on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. And that was 55 years ago that the Voting Rights Act was signed. And so it seems like a long time, but it's really not. And so I think this show is a reminder that we have to continue to work for democracy, to expand democracy. We have a returning citizen on the show. His name is Eric Weaver. And as you know, in some states, you can vote once you've come out of prison, et cetera. In some states you can't. And for instance, in Florida, they voted to let returning citizens vote, but now there are all these fees and fines that people have to pay before they can get the right to vote. And that's just another voter suppression tactic. So I think the show really highlights like all of these issues, but they're told by the people who are actually living it and doing the work.
And that's so important. You talk about living and doing the work. And Amy from Story District is living and doing the work. So tell us, how did this collaboration come about? And tell us how wonderful the feeling you enjoyed working with the cast, because you are a storyteller who pulls out so much from everyone. So tell us, Amy, how is that?
Well, Diana is one of our favorite storytellers, and she's hosted quite a few shows at this point at Story District. So, we have a friendship and a relationship, and she reached out and said, hey, I want to do this. I'll pull together some folks. And then I agreed that I'd help with the coaching and getting them ready. So what's great about doing it this way is the beauty of a true story is that you really tap into identifying to the person telling the story. They're our protagonist, and you're rooting for them. You really get to walk in their shoes. And when a story is told, wow, that's really what you're doing. You're experiencing what they feel, what they see, what they're going through. And and I think that is truly what makes it such a profound experience. So that's what we get to do with these 5 storytellers, is really go through their experiences and walk away having a new understanding of just how we walk away like feeling like we went to 5 different places.
Yes. Oh, I
But
like
Amy,
that.
Amy is like a therapist. I mean, these people had the stories inside of them, but she was pulling it out. Like, we can go deeper. You know, give us the emotions that you felt. So
Yes.
people have
Yes.
been coached. They are ready.
I love it. I love it. You know, and as someone who's been coached by Amy to do one of these, listen, you know, she really tunes in on those things, you know, within the story that really matter and how to really get that emotion out of it, being able to really present it that way. And one of the things I love with Story District is that no matter what the topic is or what the theme is, the stories are always, you know, diverse. It's always great to, you know, get from a great pool of people where the stories are varied enough that they go with the theme, but you get so many different perspectives. Amy, could you give me a little preview about what audiences can expect from our storytellers for this event?
Sure. What you mean, each story or just the vibe?
Yeah, like just a little preview, a vibe, a little background of some of them, like what
Okay.
they can expect about, you know, these stories about democracy.
Okay, well, I should say to your audience, you should definitely go to the Story District site and find Krylios' story, as well as Rayceen's story in our Outspoken playlists. That's on YouTube, so check that out. Both amazing
Yes.
storytellers.
We're
Yeah.
alumni.
Thank you.
So, you know, Diana mentioned her mom and the Edmund Pettisbridge, and she mentioned Eric. There's also Victor, who kind of came into his own as a canvasser. There's Gabby, who really was motivated by not seeing enough representation by Black women and people of color. And then so she founded her own organization. So you'll hear more about that. And Paloma, she's Diana, you say.
Oh, she's an organizer in Arizona, and her story is really a celebration because we're also celebrating 100 years of women getting the right to vote. And so her story kind of touches on being a woman in the movement, and her grandmother is Mexican and has never voted. But Paloma is, you know, an active, you know, political, you know, voting and doing all those things. So it's just this contrast in her life, and the contrast with her mother and her beliefs, and just how Paloma is like pushing forward and being hopeful in the future.
Well done. I'll say one more thing about Victor. Victor's also a librarian.
Yeah.
So he's like the DCPS, you know, like rep. But what's nice is that each person brings something else to the table, some perspective, not only on voting, but just in general civic engagement and how we can make a difference, be involved, and play our part.
I think it's so wonderful. The partnership, when you talk about Story District and the DC Public Library, it is such a perfect fit.
I agree. I definitely agree. Telling stories, you know, bringing stories together. I love it.
Yes.
Yes.
DCPL actually just rebranded, and we have a new logo, and then it says "Find Your Story." So I think that it does fit, because it's like layers on layers on layers of you're going to the library to get a book, but also I think this is an example of what the library is doing in the community, and hopefully can do more of, is showcasing people in our city and their own stories.
I love that. I love that so much. And share with us, please. Please share with us how sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, but share with us the title, I Too Sing America. I wanted to know how we came up with that title.
Okay, I Too Sing America. It's a poem by Langston Hughes. The poem is just I Too Sing, but he says, I Too Sing America, and he's like, I am the darker brother, and he's basically saying he's like shut out of America, but he is America. Mm-hmm. And I think that all the stories that you will hear tonight, well, not tonight, next week, do follow that theme. I do want to say, and I don't really want to put it like this, but we don't have any white storytellers. Well, we have someone who is biracial, but everyone is a person of color. And so I think it is important to amplify their voices and to show that they make up the fabric of this nation as well, and their stories matter.
I love that. I love that. Really, 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 really great work. I can't wait to check it out. I can't wait to see what it's going to be. And I just really, really love getting these stories. And, as we pointed out before, this is what is needed. This is what is important, especially as the election nears. So thank you guys so much for putting this on, doing this together, and, giving us more resources as we head up to the election, as well as, voices, resources and voices
Yeah, I like
right
that.
before the election.
That
There
is
we go.
perfect.
Yes, yes. Thanks so much. And share with everyone how they're able to watch these stories and how they can follow DC Public Library as well as Story District.
Yes. Oh, well, for DCPL, our website is dclibrary.org. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram under DCPL. When you go to the Facebook, you'll see the event on the event page. Like I said, it'll be live on Facebook and YouTube. So just look up DC Public Library. All of our stuff will come up.
For Story District, we have a website, storydistrict.org, and you'll see this event is listed there. So it'll give you that information, links actually to the pages. And you can follow us on social media, though I'm not that active on it right now. But I will post about this.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. And to our viewers, thank you for watching. Bye, everyone.
Am I supposed to leave? Oh.
You could always leave. Remember to vote.
And don't forget it.
Yes, vote. Thank you, guys.